Oh golly, howly, what? 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 Are we live? Are we live right now? What? What? Wow, what? I think we're live. Let me know if you can see the stream. What? How did that even work? That does not make any kind of logical sense. So hey, Brian C, aka, I think, is he still going by that name? Maybe not, I don't know. Hey, roll of tacos with guac. Hey, Finn Haymans. Hey, Standby News. Hey, Casey Grimm. How are you guys all doing? Man, this app almost ticked me off. I hit go live the first time, it came up with the error. I closed the app, came back in and hit live and actually went live. God damn, the luck that I just had. So we are starting out here at the corner of East Pershing Boulevard and US-20, aka Lincolnway. We're gonna start over here with the 5-star Plaza. I apologize for running late. My body decided it had some business to take care of, so, but yeah, there's that. I love my body with doing silly stuff, but whatever. I'd rather do it before than have to stop right in the middle or some crazy crap like that. I'm gonna butcher this name, but hey, Taka Dister Acero, hopefully I'm pronouncing that somewhat accurate. Sorry if I'm not. So, I was watching a different live stream. I hear, what? Are we live? Yeah. You gotta understand that when it first crashed, I literally hollered at the top of my lungs, no. Because out of a little bit of anger, and then I reopen the app and then it works. I gotta get out my notes here. So let's see, this is the 5-star Plaza. It was the previously the Graham Plaza. I think it changed around 2011. Most of the buildings for the Graham Plaza were built in 2003 to 2004. Got many businesses, including a Farmers Insurance over there on the far end of it. And you might be able to kind of see the name there. I think a vacancy there. We got Give Us Strength Physical Therapy, Wyoming Medical Aesthetics, and Cherry Creek Mortgage Company. And then next door to that, we also got a Loaf and Jug. Was built in 2000, possibly as mini-mart. And if it did start as mini-mart, then it switched over to Loaf and Jug in around 2005, because that's when they were rebranding them. Of course, 5 years after Loaf and Jug bought out the brand. It's possible it started as a Loaf and Jug on that note. I could not find absolute confirmation on that. It did have a Subway in there. When I originally did a Pershing live stream and we looked at it, it had Subway signage on it, but the Subway signage is gone. I heard the Subway had closed around the time of Corona starting, which would have been around 2020. We're gonna cross the street here. Over here to the left, we got the Whispering Chase Apartments, mainly targeting older people who need a good home to stay in, especially by their name. That's not their entire name. They have their entire name on a sign down there, which you can see in Street View. It's built in 2008, primarily targeting senior citizens, as I said. And then we're gonna see about crossing over here. Nightbuzz in the chat, I have reinstated him. I got a couple of new commands in there, so you can do exclamation weather and find out what the weather is right now in Cheyenne. I believe it's in the 70s. Let's see, I actually think I got photos of this, right? Oh yeah, here we go. So there's the Graham Plaza. When it had the Graham Plaza signage in 2011. This is the 5-star Plaza now. Let's see, I think that might be it for the moment. Yeah, that's it for the moment. And then we got another one further down, so we'll take a look at that. Light just changed. Most of the lights here in Cheyenne don't change to person if it already turned green. You have to wait a whole cycle, so I'm not gonna wait, I'm just gonna cross. There's a few lights that they have actually done correctly, but most of them they unfortunately have not done correctly, so we're just gonna go with it. We got across before it changed anyway. Do got a Dollar General down there, but that's a story for another day. It's not on Pershing, it's on the corner of Western Way and, well, actually Greenway Street and US-30. Probably eventually be doing a Lincolnway live, well, several Lincolnway live streams because Lincolnway is so long. We're coming up over here on the Broadmoor EAST Veterinary Clinic. It's likely original to its location. The building was built originally in 1968. The hospital building, which is the right half of the building, it received an add-on in 1976. They added a boarding and grooming building, which is the left half of the building you see now. They added that in 1993. And then that, the boarding and grooming building received an add-on in 1999. So they've had quite a few add-ons over the years. Let me zoom in so you can see the signage a little bit better. It's possible the stream will lag a little bit, but at least I'll have the raw video file for the stream since the app worked today. I'll at least have the backup for the stream so I can always re-upload it if the quality really chops out on the live stream on YouTube. I ended up having to do that with, I think, the Aurora stream we did. So if I have to, I will. If I don't have to, that's fine too. I'll read on chat here in a second. Over here we got a bunch of apartments known as the Mountainside apartment homes. All of them were built in 1997. I think all these buildings you see here are garages and the actual apartments are on the other side of the garages. It's kind of a fenced-in community, not really though. There are wide open sections where you could easily go in at the entries for cars and whatnot. Got a couple of vacant spots of land right over here that have nothing on them, but I think they are for lease, I believe, or for sale, one or the other. I definitely remember seeing signs posted there before. I can't remember what the signs were about. I don't remember if they were for sale signs or advertising something else, but there is that. Nightbot's doing pretty good tonight, or today, I should say. Hey, Ackley, how are you doing? I read that already. Yeah, that command needs to be in there. I don't think I've added it in yet. If you want to do exclamation commands, space add, exclamation Nightbot, and then put that text in there. Of course, space between the exclamation Nightbot and the command message. If you want to throw it into my Nightbot, or I can do it later. I was almost thinking about it, but I was like, nah, I shouldn't. But now it's like, you know what? It's kind of funny. Hey, Slacking Packing. Hey, Hope Lightning Strike M. How are you guys doing? Hopefully the day is fairly well for all of you. Let's see, right over here we got a Maverik gas station. This was, let me see, it was built in 2016. As of 1994, which as you see now on the the satellite image I just popped up, there was some kind of building or buildings at this space, but all those were long gone by 2005, unfortunately, so there's not really a good photo that I can easily find of what it looked like. I remember a few trees still being on this corner over here. I don't know if I got a photo of that. Is this it? Yeah, there used to be trees right there, as you can see in that little photo I just popped up. And those were there almost all the way up until Maverik was built. Oops, come on. Close for me. There we go. I'll get a better view of the Maverik when we get up to the corner. Hope there's a, hope. Sorry, I misread that. There's a fire warning in Colorado Springs. That's no bueno. I guess there's a bunch of fires happening lately. So you got a Maverik sign there with Cinnabon advertised. They do got a little mini Cinnabon thing inside, along with their own bar that you can eat at thing. Not really a bar, but little restaurant thing. We're gonna have to wait for the light here. I guess since we're waiting, we'll look at the Platte Valley Bank, which I think I got a photo of it. It's what it was originally. So it was built in 1999, I believe, as Tri-County National Bank, as the photo on the screen shows. It shouldn't be confused with Tri-County Bank of California. That's a totally different brand. And the Tri-County National Bank merged with, Platte Valley Bank in 2014, and that's what it is today. There was an interesting incident many years ago where some guy basically lost his mind in there, and there were cop cars and everything all over this intersection, blocking off the road. I remember being able to see it from all the way down at near Ridge Road area, from Albertsons area and all that. It's green light. We're gonna go. I should have pushed the button, but I forgot to. Oh well. Maybe one of these guys will wait. Come on, trucker, wait for me. Good. Doing a little bit of construction, some TLC on College Drive on this side as well. And then we're coming up on the Pershing Marketplace. So there was a home here right on this corner, and I think I got a photo of that here. Is this it? Yep. So there used to be a home at this address. It was abandoned for many years. It is definitely abandoned by 2011, abandoned all the way up until its demolition. There were plans in effect by 2018 to build the Pershing Marketplace. Qdoba and Doghouse were both built in 2019. Doghouse opened at the start of 2020, which we'll take a look at that in a minute. You can see all of the various tenants listed on the Pershing Marketplace sign there, which I'll go through all of them as we cut through the plaza. We're gonna go back around the corner a little bit. I know this is a stretch off of Pershing, but still in the Pershing Marketplace. So you can see Doghouse right there, straight up ahead of us. And we'll get a view from the parking lot over here. Qdoba was open before Doghouse. Doghouse was being built at the time that this place had already opened. So there was a little bit of a gap, but there we go. So here's the front of the Dazbog, and there's the red bike that is, I swear I see it there every single day. Not every day, because I don't come out here every day, but every day that I happen to come through here, I happen to notice it there. So it's cool to see someone else using a bike. Let's see, we'll go over Dazbog first. So Dazbog was the next one to be built. Let's see, where is it? It was built in 2020. And then North Platte Physical Therapy right here was the next one to be built. It moved from Kohl's Shopping Center in mid-2020 into this space. It's a lot bigger than the Hollywood Video that they were in before, over near the Kohl's Shopping Center, and we will be going by there today, so you'll be able to see that. There's the side of Dazbog right here. We got Castorena's over here that opened sometime after Dazbog was built. It's a showroom. And then coming over here is the most recent building that was built here. Let's see, do I got all the dates for this? Pizza Hut was near the 5-Star Plaza. We didn't see it in this stream, but we've seen it in other streams. It's now occupied by Poor Decisions, and it moved here at that end of this building, the far end from here. Cheyenne Pack and Ship moved, or not Cheyenne Pack and Ship. Cheyenne Pack and Ship opened here And the Verizon right here, that moved from the Cheyenne market, or Cheyenne Plaza. You can see Firehouse subs is now coming soon. Coming June 2022. I got an article on that coming later today on Newsbreak, or by tomorrow at the latest, depending on when it gets approved. You can see the Pizza Hut signage here. I think we did a stream where we kind of went through this whole plaza and talked about the Pizza Hut moving. I think I filmed the Pizza Hut as abandoned, although it was only a short that ended up on my shorts channel, I believe. It's just briefly before Poor Decisions started really raking it up in there, getting things moving. So there's a look at the Pizza Hut. Go ahead, you're good. Oh, you're going that way, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure which way these guys were going. But yeah, they put in a little drive-through pickup window for Pizza Hut, of course, which is probably overall good, convenient to say the least. I'd argue this is probably one of the most walkable plazas in Cheyenne. I mean, there's entryways all over the place for pedestrians and cars, but pedestrians too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, technically, the sidewalk right here along Pershing is actually considered Greenway. If it's not, it should be, because it's wide enough to be. They do want to install some kind of Greenway thing along here, whether it's a bike lane or whatever. I haven't figured that out entirely yet, unfortunately. Let's see, over here we got a couple of houses. I think I do got a photo of that. Man, I forgot about all the photos of Qdoba and stuff being built. So we'll do that first. So there's Qdoba and doghouse that we saw earlier. You can see doghouse is still being built in that photo. There's a photo of the North Platte Physical Therapy being built. Here's Dazbog. I think this was around the time they were getting ready to open. That was before this building is here. You no longer can take a photo like that from this position. Let's see. What else do I got? Is that it? I think that's it for those photos. Yep, there's another angle of Firehouse subs, so they got signage out here too. This is the first Firehouse subs in the state of Wyoming, as well as in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Let's see, and then we got the houses over here, so let's see. These buildings were built before 1994 and demolished in 2020. There were two of them over there. They took them both out, and right now they are both for lease, as you can see by the signage right there. Number One Properties, Jim Weaver. We also got the New Testament Church over here, which unfortunately I don't know when it was built, but other than it was built before 1994. A lot of the churches in town, unfortunately, you cannot find very specific info. And that is one of them that you can't really find it, at least not that I've seen online. Maybe I'm just not searching the right thing, but very hard to find the dates, bottom line. And of course, there are a bunch of trailers back over there beyond Atkins Street. Let's see, I think I got a date. They date back to 1973, so a lot of them have been here for a very long time. I think it even includes the trailers over here, past McCann Avenue. And then we got this Jimmy John's, so they're the new Firehouse subs is going to have a bit of a competitor here. This should be interesting to see how that goes. Jimmy John's was built in 2013. I do have a photo of when it was an outlot for parking for Baggs Elementary. There you go. I think that's 2007 Street View. Okay, we'll continue. I'll read chat in a minute. There's a lot of stuff to cover here for a minute. When you see a white Dodge minivan right behind you and you almost think it's the van that Ross Creations used to drive around a lot. I don't know if those guys still use that van or not, but they literally put a Mercedes thing on the front of the hood. Oh golly. Let's see. So speaking of Baggs Elementary School, It was originally built before 1994, but I don't know exactly when. It's kind of behind of all these buildings. It was rebuilt around 2007 to 2008. And it's still, well, it's what it is today. I think they got a couple of extra buildings, outside buildings over here for classes. We got Dry Creek Dental, which was built in 2000, probably original to the space. Definitely goes back to at least 2007. I'll get a better view of the sign in a minute. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see it. I'll catch up on chat. There's just so much here. Future home of HealthWorks. So there's supposed to eventually be a whole plaza building right along this whole edge of Pershing. This isn't technically part of Pershing Marketplace. There's a different name for the businesses over here. They haven't started building anything yet, but this sign for HealthWorks has been here for quite a while now. They got a whole bunch of brand new apartments. They started building like end of last year roughly, and they're getting really close on having them done. There's even a couple of new houses out on, what is this street? Wills Road. Out on Wills Road down that way beyond this plaza area that are being built. Let's see, what else do we got? Wells Fargo here. This one was built in 1978. Second, as far as I can tell, it's the second Wells Fargo location here in Cheyenne, besides the downtown branch that was definitely, at least in an older building, if not opened for originally. Hey, Dakota Wolf. Wow, 79? Jesus Christ, it got warm. Show your bike when you ride it. Yeah, we'll have to. Ransacked, how are you doing? Yep, that's right. Renza's definitely not going to be coming anytime soon now. There was a desire for Renza to expand to Cheyenne. They were looking for someone to own the franchise before they built it, but nobody claimed it, so now the sign is all gone. For sale signs are back up on the property where it was planned to go, unfortunately. Okay, we got another building here to talk about, so we'll do this first. So this was built in 1978. It's definitely a part of A1 Rental because I can see it written on that door over there, A1 Rental, and obviously there are a lot of A1 Rental vehicles over here, and I need to make sure I didn't just, yep, I did turn on to manual by accident. So you can see a lot of A1 Rental vehicles parked over here as well. They're a company that offers construction equipment as a rental. And then we got Breeze Through Car Wash. This was the second Cheyenne location. The third one was recently built on South Greeley Highway. This one on Pershing though was built in 2019. It's been open since it opened. What do I want to say? The Del Range one temporarily closed while after the South Greeley Highway one opened. Let's see, we got 3 more businesses on here. Let's see, do I got any other photos I've missed? Oh yeah, so there's a photo of Breeze Through when it was under construction in 2019. And hopefully I didn't just turn on yep, I did turn on manual focus again. It's my only pet peeve. Well, there's 2 pet peeves I have with Prism. I tell you what. One of them is the connection issues with the live streams that I almost end up having today. Thank God it worked after I closed and restarted the app. And the other one is when you tap the screen, it automatically puts in manual focus and you manually have to go back and put it back in auto. Other than that, it's a pretty dang good app, I gotta say. Way better than YouTube Live will ever be. Okay, I think that's it for the photos for a minute. So we got Carpet One Floor and Home over here. Let's see. The original building was built in 1952 with add-ons in 1978. The Carpet and Home Storage Warehouse, which I believe is this building on the right, was built in 1967 with add-ons in 1976. 1967 with add-ons in 1976. And there's an additional utility building back there that you can see with garage doors. That was built in 2019. They got their Carpet One signage there and in front of the main building over here. Let's see, we're coming up on Taco John's. Is that the next one on my list? It is. So this guy was built in originally built in 1975 as a very retro little tiny trailer-like structure. It was literally a walk-up restaurant in the day. Let's see, what else do I got? There's a solid building. Hold on, let me switch the photo here and switch back into auto. Okay, I am in auto for this time, good. Let me pop up the other photo here. So the solid building that used the arched facade that a lot of 2000s and 90s Taco John's used, that was built by 1994. By 1994, I don't know exactly when it was actually built. It was expanded expanded by 2005. You could visibly tell there was a difference in the size of the building. I think on the front. I think that's when they added a little bit of a not quite solarium thing. Let's see, what else? Where is it? Rebuilt. It was rebuilt in 2017, farther from the road, so you can see there's a huge gap between the building and Ridge Road. And they have remodeled it a little bit. So it used to have a little bit different logos and stuff on it, but it's still pretty similar to what it was when it was originally built. Notice the little taco bench right there. Let's see. And hopefully I didn't switch into manual focus. Yep, I did switch into manual focus. Go back to auto, thank you. Okay. Then over here we got what was a Quality Electric. So it was built in 1975 as Wonder Bread Bakery Outlet / Hostess Cakes. They sold all of that good stuff in the day. I do got a photo of it when it was open. Let me pull it up. So there's a photo looking down Ridge Road. You can see it just off to the right. And there's a photo of it when it was actually open. I remember going here a few times. Let's see. It closed around the time the main brand filed for Chapter 11 in January 2012. Quality Electric opened by 2017 but closed by 2019. And Treasure Abilities LLC opened here not too much longer after that. They relocated from the white building down there. It's a place for people who have special needs. And it's a good thing to have, arguably. There are people that need the help. It is what it is. It's just it's the way life is. For lack of a better way of putting it. And while we wait for the light, we got the Tusker bar over here that used to be an A&W, which you can see in that older street image again. If I pull it back up. On the left, you can see that there was A&W root beer there. It was a drive-in. There was a gas station just beyond the A&W a long time ago as well. We're going to be able to cross. It was demolished for Tusker Bar by 1978 when Tusker Bar was built. Tusker saw an atrium add-on in 1996. By the way, I should clarify, A&W was there by 1975. I don't know if it opened in 1975, unfortunately. Let's see, what else? Tusker saw an atrium add-on in 1996. The building also expanded in 2003 for the DT's liquor portion of the building, taking over what was the gas station. I don't know if the facade down there is original to the gas station or not. It looks like it could be. I could be wrong. And I think there's one more thing. And today, like I said, the overhang is about it, if that is the overhang for the gas station. It looks like it, but it's hard to confirm. Very hard to confirm. We got an Albertsons Express gas station here that was built in 1979, right? Or wait, where is it? Or I'm sorry, built in 2000. It got sold off to USA Gasoline around 2004, which is why you see the USA Gasoline signage and branding here. We got Albertsons over here that was built in, where is it? Built in 1977 as Butchery Food and Drug. It converted into Albertsons around 1998 after being acquired by Albertsons. It saw a remodel around the time of buying out Safeway in 2015 after the Kohl's Shopping Center Safeway closed. And today it continues to live on with a decent amount of the original facade that once would have been Butchery's, and we'll take a better look once we get a little bit further over here. There you go. You can tell that facade, even though the colors are pretty Albertsons-esque, the facade is a lot different from your common Albertsons. It used to have doors on each of these corner bits that were slanted. They moved them over to the sliding doors in the front when they did the remodel. Let's see, what else do we got? I think I got photos of this as well. So there's Albertsons Express, which was right here. Albertsons Express when it was open. I remember going there before. Come on, close. We also got the inside of the Albertsons, looking at the pharmacy before the remodel. You can see a little bit of difference. Nowadays they use a wooden texture on a lot of the floors. And I'm gonna make sure that I didn't switch into manual. Okay. I'll read more chats here in a minute. I've got to get through the Plaza thing here real quick. We got a dry spot coming, so we'll be able to chat for a few. The Papa Murphy's building here, it was built in 1950. The daycare was added on in 2006. Daycare is called Kountry Kids, country with a K. There used to be a motel here in this area. You can actually see the curb for where the parking lot would have ended still today, even though the motel or hotel or whatever it was is gone. I unfortunately do not know what brand or when it was built or demolished, other than before 1994, I believe. Did I write any of that part down? Yeah, demolished before 1994. You can see the curb already right here, even though it's a little bit covered by dirt. If you keep walking down here, you can see even more of the curb as well. We got a building over here that was built in 1979. Connecting Point has been quote unquote serving Wyoming for over 20 years. So it may not be original to this space. And that's in the center right here. If I zoom in a little bit, it's kind of in the center of the building. What else do I got for this plaza? Jackson Hewitt on this end opened sometime over the last year or so. This used to be a DAV location that moved to the corner of Lincolnway and Hot Springs. And we do got a lot of other businesses over here. Let me get a little bit closer so I can read the names. We got the Heritage, which is a hair salon, Ted Romano Agency, Hot's Chiropractic. Of course, the Connecting Point and Jackson Hewitt I mentioned, and between Connecting Point and Jackson Hewitt, we got a Farmers Insurance agency there. Still got A&B Bank signage on the Albertsons. Interesting, I didn't realize it's still A&B Bank. Got a dangerous thing here that needs fixed, so whoever owns this property, please fix this. We already saw what happened at the Frontier Mall with a school bus that ran into one of those. Don't need to have that happen again. We're gonna probably go around the front of the Papa John's because I don't want stickers in my shoes today. Wow, we got a lot more people in here, don't we? Hey Raccoon 9000. I mean, if you want to do a drive-by honk, go for it. I'm open to drive-by. We always do that in the streams these days. We've been doing that for a long time, where people will just drive by and give a good honk. All right, we're gonna go over back onto Pershing. We do got some housing over here that was built mainly in 1959, 1961, 1975, around that time period. Those are specific dates from properties I checked in the area. I didn't check every single one, but most of it was built in that time frame. I wish we still had A&W. I miss it. Did you eat there? So all the A&Ws here in Cheyenne were long gone by the time I was around. I have eaten at A&W before. I've gone to the A&W/KFC in Fort Collins. I also went to a A&W only restaurant, like an actual A&W restaurant. I forget where, somewhere between here and Greeley along South Greeley Highway. I can't remember, it's somewhere in that area. But yeah, I had never got to eat at any of the ones here. The only A&W, I guess there's 2 or 3 of them here in Cheyenne. And the only one that remains is the one out on South Greeley Highway, even though it's obviously closed and deplorable. They actually recently took the gates down around the building, so maybe it's worth trying to do a video there at some point here. Like, the gates are all down, so it's like it's wide open. Let's see. I appreciate standby news. Cool, my bus gonna pass you. Look out for 73. Well, I'll do what I can. Worst case, you could scream out the window. I don't know. If the bus driver is okay with you, say, well, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. You do you. How about that? I'm not gonna advise you one way or the other. If you want to wave, that's fine. Oh, golly. I don't know what the best thing would be there. If a bus is noisy, you could probably yell and nobody'd care, but if the bus is quiet, then maybe yelling's not the best idea. I don't care, you can wave. Oh man, well, we got bus 3. All right, we got Jonah Business Center over here. It was built in 1971 as Kmart and as well as a pay and pack hardware store. Kmart moved to Delrange in 1991. That same year, they used the building for Safe Car Services of Florida, which they expanded on the left side with a silver portion of the building in 1995. It converted to Trologent in 1996 after a buyout and closed in 2004 to move to Connecticut. By 2011, Allstate opened in the left half, which is the silver portion over there. Let's see what else. The new left half, there are other companies that also put their offices in here. It was housed by the Social Security Administration for a while. In 2016, during the renovation of the Capitol and Hirschler buildings, the legislature was even housed here, which kind of resulted in the name of Leg Mart, or Legislature Mart. In 2019, is a nickname that one of the people in the legislature gave, by the way. In 2019, the legislature moved back to the Capitol, and sometime over the last year, the Allstate actually closed. And you can still see some of the signage for Jonah Business Center here. There are still some things in here, although not the same things as what used to be. And then we also got Cary Junior High over here, the new one. This was built in 2019 and moved from its old Pershing Boulevard location into this building for the 2020-2021 school year. I think that's when it officially opened. The thought of rebuilding Cary had been in the works for a very long time. I remember it being talked about way back, probably when I was in like 3rd grade or something like that. So that would have been back way before 2010. There's talk of putting Cary Junior High over here, but it never ended up happening. Well, it did end up happening, but way later than they were saying it was gonna. A lot later than they said it was gonna. And you can see it's clearly in use nowadays. And then we also got the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex back there. Let's see, I think I got photos here. Let's see, what do I got? I can't see the screen very well. It's bright out here today. Here we go. So you can see the old Oakie Blanchard before it was rebuilt in that photo that I just put on screen. Let's see, it was previously just known as Oakie Blanchard Stadium. It was rebuilt where it is today in 2014. The old stadium is roughly where the Cary Junior High is today. If I zoom out a little bit. It was used by Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central high schools until 2001 when a new stadium was built for Central. Apparently there used to be a C as well as an E for both the schools in the field over here. Now there's just a giant E, which I noticed they actually installed lights around it so it lights up at night. So you could literally see it from the sky if you're in the right position. At night, that is. You can see it in the satellite in the daytime. Let's see. The old stadium was actually named after Coach Claire Blanchard. Silly insect. And yeah, I think that's about it for the stadium, and I'll read chat here in a second. We also got the first congregational church over here that was built before 1994, but again, I don't got an original build date. It's another one of those ones where it's hard to find the date. It's definitely very old. They also go by the name of the Cross Point Fellowship. We'll take a closer look at that name when we get up the hill. A&W and Berthoud, yeah, it's probably the one I'm talking about. It's somewhere in one of those small towns. There is an event we used to go to when it was a seasonal event, and they usually held it in the same place. There were at least 2 different times where we stopped and got a root beer float at A&W. Good old nostalgic times, man. We were coming out of East. Be driving by, nice. Let's see. That's all right. Stand by. Rawhedrix11. Welcome to the chat. He says, "What is the population in Cheyenne?" It's about 65,000. I bet you there's plenty of people who haven't been counted, so it's probably closer to 66, if we're being real. But it just recently hit 65,000 over the last couple of years. Yeah, here we go. Cross Point Fellowship. You can see the signage. I don't know if the bus already passed. It's possible it might have. There's 2 different buses I saw go by. It might have ended up on stream. I don't know. Hopefully it did. Hopefully you had a good day at school. We do want to cross. I'm going to push the button here so that way the light might start changing before I cross. Okay, maybe it's not going to change before I get across. Oh, nope. It's starting to change. I'll push the button over here just to be safe, make sure it does change. I'd rather walk on the sidewalk, so. Green light. Okay. I gotta flip my paper now. So the housing over here, this was all built in 1952. Hi, 73, I see you. Nice one. Nice timing. So the housing over here. Housing over here was built in 1952, 53, 59, 64, 65, 68, all in those dates, at least on properties I checked. Most of it was built, again, in 50s and 60s. We got East High School over here, which kind of came up in the chat. So it was established in 1960 when Cheyenne High School was split into 2 separate schools. Built in 1961. With many expansions over the years. One of the additions was the gymnasium complex in 2004, which is the quote-unquote big gym as many will refer to it. Let's see. There is also a swimming pool addition where they're adding a new pool. I don't know if the pool is open yet. If it's not, it's definitely dang very, very, very close. It's on the other side of the school. With the building of that, they actually removed the road over here that used to go all the way through. They removed a part of it, so now you can't go through. You got to go around the other way, unless you're a pedestrian, in which case you can just walk down the sidewalks and manage your way over there. It's quite a bit different than it used to be. I didn't expect them to do that. I thought they'd at least connect it up, but they didn't. You can see the main portion of East High. Right inside of there, we got the auditorium, as well as the lobby and cafeteria. I believe this road in front was named after one of the teachers that used to work here. Same with a lot of the trees. The person who was named after was very into the trees and nature and stuff like that. I think it might have been a science teacher, in fact, if I remember right. Don't quote me because I don't remember correctly for certainty. I might be remembering right, but I might be wrong because it's been a minute since it got talked about. You can see the home of the Thunderbirds signage there. Sometimes the TV will use a cool shot of the East High School signage there. I think they've used a drone before on that. In fact, I think that's how they got one of the shots for one of the clips that used to be in the TV show a long time ago. A long time ago, back when I was still in high school. Dothit Drive, that's what they call it. I forgot about that. I was trying to remember it, but I could not remember it until now because I see the sign. Let me zoom in on it. There it is. Dothit Drive. This part of the building is part of an expansion as well. Used to all be one floor, but they added this 2-level section. And after the school was built, I don't know which date. Again, not all the dates are out there. It's interesting how some schools, churches, and other public places will have a lot more info than others. Let's see, do I have anything about the little theater? No, I don't. I didn't write anything down about it. That sucks. But they do got their sign over here, which we'll be able to see in a minute. It's bright and shiny today. Cheyenne Little Theater Players. That's what they go by these days. You can see their electric sign there. Got Windmill Road and East Pershing Boulevard we're gonna cross. Looks like the timing's just right. We don't gotta even stop. Maybe. Nope, these guys are turning left. We're gonna have to stop. All of us on the bus are watching the stream, bro. I saw one of you guys waving. I don't know which one it was. That's hilarious and great. I appreciate the support, of course. Maybe some walking streams, Colorado. It says Texas Danger. How are you doing today? Glad to see you in the chat. Yeah, we did a Colorado stream not too long ago. It's harder to do those, partly because when I go to Colorado, I have a limited amount of time. And if there's places in the area we are going that I desperately want to film, I'm going to film them. Maybe it'd be possible at some point to do some kind of like behind the scenes kind of thing. Maybe that's something I could look into. We'll have to wait and see. But I do want to try and do more Colorado streams for sure. There's interesting things to see there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. We got Brimmer Park here. And I do got some info about it. It was built in the 20th century, so in the 1900s. It was donated to the city in 1971. It's named after George E. Brimmer, an attorney who endorsed community beautification, which is pretty obviously reflected by a lot of the trees and things like that that are here. What else? A women's civic league planted trees. and built a tennis and ice skating facility that was abandoned as a result of wind and water damage. By 1994, a skateboard park was beginning to be built in its place, receiving many additions in the years following. So I do got a photo of the skateboard park, which is way out there. You can't really see it from here, and I'm not going to walk all the way over there today, but we can do this. And you can see some of the pools that they built there for skateboarders. And that area is where that park, the tennis and the roller skating thing would have been. Is that the only photo I got of this area? I think it might be. I'm trying to see the screen, but it's so bright out, man. I can't tell what this is. Oh, that's Oakey Blanchard, okay. Yep, so that's the last photo I got of that. They do got a little park area over here as well, a playground. Let's see. What direction are you walking? So right now we're headed west on East Pershing Boulevard. We're getting close to being in front of the VA Veteran Affairs Hospital. What's their connection with Colorado? Did you live in Colorado? So technically I've temporarily lived in Colorado briefly because of being in hotels or staying with family or whatever. I've done that numerous times over the years, but I haven't officially like permanently lived there. I've gone to Colorado a heck of a lot though over my years. There was a point in time when in my youth where we were probably going to Fort Collins 2 or 3 times a year, in addition to occasionally going to Boulder, Loveland, Denver, etc., etc., etc. There's quite a few places I miss going to, like, I forget the name of it right now. It's one of the pizza places. I can't think of the name of it right now. I should know this. I got a magnet for their business at home. But they used to have a location in the Foothills Mall after it got rebuilt. They also had a location in 16th Street in Denver, Colorado, in that mall. They had some decent pizza for what it is. It is a pretty big chain because they got locations all the way out into New York, but both of those closed. I remember going to Foothills Mall a very long time ago before it was rebuilt too, though. Decent number of times passing through the Sears. I remember the Sears was quite a bit more run down than our Sears in Cheyenne, unfortunately. What else? Kmart. Kmart was another one I'd regularly visit there. There's plenty of restaurants I've gone to over the years there. Man, even the Outback. Like I mainly have gone to Kmart, Sears, Outback, etc. here in Cheyenne, but there were many times where I'd go to Fort Collins or one of the other cities and go to one of those. Oh, this is a good one. For my birthday, I'll often go to places like I suspect that was someone in the street. This is a fun one though. I've often gone places like Fort Fun and Fort Collins and Boondocks in both North Glen and Parker. Both are very fun places. They got go-karts, arcade, bowling, and the whole shebang. I think Fort Fun doesn't have bowling as far as I know, but when I went, they did have arcade games and go-karts, of course. Good old nostalgia. 2020 kind of screwed that up with Corona. Wouldn't mind going back eventually, but just haven't gotten that far yet. Makes me thankful as hell. A secret detail here. Makes me thankful as hell I actually filmed my last visit to one of the Boondocks in 2019. Over here on the right, we got the VA Medical Center, which was built a very long time ago, way before Kohl's Shopping Center even. It dates back to at least 1950. Actually, it goes back farther than that. It first opened in 1934, based on what I found. Construction beginning in 1932. And there have been a hell of a lot of expansions to it. The most recent one is the building over here. If I zoom in, and I'm gonna focus on it because it's blurred. So there's that building right there. That was the most recent expansion, and the second most recent one was this one right here. There's been other expansions as well, but those are the two that I'm particularly aware of, and I need to switch back into autofocus. There we go. So we're at Henderson. Oh, I forgot about this church here real quick. Did I get this written down? I don't got this written down, but we got this church over here on the left. St. Christopher's. I always mispronounce this. I can't read it because of the angle I'm at. How do they say it? Episcopal Church, something like that. I'm probably butchering it, but that's what they call this. It's another church that's been here since before 1994, and I haven't been able to find a date. And then we got more housing over here that was built quite a long time ago. I got dates of 1950, 51, and 52. Oops, I didn't realize the light was changing, so we're gonna have to hurry. Thanks. I started crossing and then I was like, oh crap, the light's changing. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've gone to Bejo's once. They have pretty good pizza. It's pricey, but it's good. They have a pretty good salad bar too. Let's see. I'm gonna HMM you. Okay, all right. Maybe something we can do there. Shakey's Pizza. I haven't been to Shakey's Pizza before, but we did have one here in Cheyenne over on Lincolnway. I believe it's where one of the bars are today. I forget which one. I don't remember the name of the bar. I could point out the building probably. I'm pretty sure I remember the right building. Oh yeah, Grimaldi's. Thank you, Roll Tacos. Yep, Grimaldi's. They had pretty dang good pizza. It was what do they call it? Coal brick oven. And after we ate a couple of pizzas, we'd always get some of the I forget the dessert. It's almost a tortilla, like a crunchy tortilla kind of thing, wrapped around cream. Almost like the cream horns you get from Walmart, but not quite that. I forget the proper name for them, but we'd always get that, and that was always really good. Hey, Parker Taylor. Hey, Ashley Holland. Parker says, crumble cookies is the best. Well, I have tried them, and they do have good cookies. Apparently, there's supposed to be a crumble cookies coming to the former AT&T in the Frontier Mall. I think I might have mentioned that in a recent live stream, maybe in the driving live stream we did. Oh boy, this one's gonna be goodie. Let's see, do I got any other? Okay, I think we're right on the Kohl's Shopping Center now. Yep, we sure are. Okay. All right, so what do we got here? I gotta go through this. This will be fun. So, right now it's the Blue Federal Credit Union's world headquarters. But the Plaza Kohl's Shopping Center dates back to 1953 when the original Plaza building was built. It contained many businesses, including Radio Shack, Blockbuster. There was a couple of different hair salons that were there over the years. What else? There was a dental person. I forget the name of the guy, but orthodontist there. And that was in this building right here that you see on screen. And that would have been on the far end, like out that way. You would call that the southwest corner of the property. I'm fighting my paper here. I'm gonna have to do this. What else do we got? The third and fourth buildings included the Safeway in 1966 and the Kohl department store in 1963. And that should not be confused with the Kohl's in Australia and the other Kohl's in US that we know as K-O-H-L-S. This was Kohl's spelled C-O-L-E-S department store. That was right over here. I do got a photo of that when it was still here. I just gotta see the screen. This is so hard. So there's the Safeway building. The Kohl's store was to the right of the Safeway. What else? The Safeway saw an expansion in 1979 on the left and on the front that made the marina look of the building very hidden. So you would notice it if you went inside, and I think I got an inside photo. Yeah, here we go. There's an inside photo. You can see how it's kind of an archway, and that's what they call a marina Safeway. It was hidden by that remodel, or that expansion, I should say. Let's see, and I think the other building that I mentioned, the third building, was this one. And that contained check-into cash. It also contained a bike store at one point. I remember there being a fish store that I visited a very long time ago. I just accidentally went into manual focus again. There we go. Let's see. What's the next thing in my photos? Cole Square Cinemas. That was over here on this corner over here. Let's see, when did I got that? It was built in 1975 and saw an additional screen added in 1980, making it a 3-screen theater. It was owned by many people, including Commonwealth, Carmike Cinemas, United Artists. It has a very similar history to the theater at the Frontier Mall, aside from the number of screens. Unfortunately, it closed a long time ago, quite a ways before the one at the mall closed. The one at the mall actually went back to an AMC before it closed. And talking about that history is something for another day. Okay, I didn't accidentally do it again. Good stuff. And I think there's one more thing here. There is a Crossroads Diner over here on the left, just before the Safeway building, and you can see it in the street view there. It was a country kitchen originally. Well, let's see, when was it built? 1976 is when it was built, and it was a former country kitchen. Most recently, it was the Crossroads Diner. It was one of the earliest buildings to be totally abandoned in the Cole Shopping Center. At some point, it's believed a photomat stood near the country kitchen, somewhere in that area. I haven't been able to find photos or confirmation of that, but there is that. And there's also was a Henry's Hamburgers that stood right around this area, about where this the event building for the Blue headquarters stands today. Is that about it? There used to be this intersection that we're at, Pershing, Converse, 19th. This used to be a lot different design. It had 2 sections that were kind of both Pershing. It was weird. You can go back in Street View on a computer, online, maps.google.com, and on a PC. And you can go into the Street View and go back in time, and you'll see what I'm talking about, how it was a lot different situation. It kind of lagged off because you have 19th Street that comes at a funky angle, and Pershing that continues in the same east and westbound directions. Converse that goes in the same north and southbound directions. Kind of interesting how that worked out. Let's see. But I bring that up because there used to be an entry with stoplights right about this area that I'm pointing for the Cole Shopping Center. Let's see, what else? The Safeway closed in 2016. Blockbuster closed with all the other locations in the US. And I don't got any other dates for other stores that closed. But Blue Federal Credit Union had ownership of the property by 2019, and it was officially built in 2020. Of course, plans were in effect by 2019 for the headquarters. They were already getting moved in here like end of 2020, I think. They also got a branch over here where you can get money out. There is a gym over here. Let's see if the sign's still here, actually. Let's see. This person's gonna wait. I'm gonna press the light. Appreciate it. I don't know if the sign is still here. If it is, then we'll take a look at it. There's a gym that actually opened in the retail complex over here on the south end of the Blue property. This person wait. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it. You can see the Blue Federal Credit Union signage. There was a sign, but I can't remember if it's still here. Is this it maybe, or is this a for lease sign? For lease. And I don't see the sign that they put up anymore, unfortunately, but it's over there in the far end of the plaza. So if I zoom in, it's in that space you see right now. It's kind of a gym thing. I guess there's some kind of boxing kind of thing that also happens there. Yeah, they don't have their sign here right now. The wind knocked it down, and I guess they decided to pick it up, or it blew away. And knowing the Wyoming wind, it wouldn't surprise me if it did blow away. But there's a better look at the blue branch for the bank. They got an ITM there as well for the drive-through, so you can pretty easily get whatever you need anytime, even if they are not open at the branch itself. And you can always talk to a teller through the ITM. I guess it's an ATM outside of hours, but during hours you can use the ITM to talk to people.
Cross street with caution. Vehicles may not stop.
I love how this one, the post got knocked over by probably a semi truck, and they haven't replaced it yet. We're gonna go over here. Let's see. So we got the AeroCare over here. This was built in 1999 as both Some Like It Hot Tanning Salon and Hollywood Video. Before this building, there was a gas station about right here, actually kind of in the street a little bit, because they cut a little bit of the parking lot out for the, I'm gonna cross before this Cherokee gets there. They cut a little bit of the parking lot out for the roundabout. Let's see what else. I'm gonna go, Shizers. I think someone let off a firework. That scared the crap out of me. Where was I? I got interrupted. So, anyway, back onto the Hollywood Video. The Hollywood Video closed in 2010. North Platte Physical Therapy seemed to have opened in 2016. And then it moved to the Pershing Marketplace in June of 2020. And then AeroCare by Adapt Health. That took over around late 2020, early 2021. I do not have an exact date, but I do remember them hiring and getting the space ready to go for their service. And then we're going to cross over here. Just gonna go, there's no one even coming. Over here, there used to be two houses that were built on this corner. They demolished it, I think, because they needed more parking to replenish what they took from the Hollywood Video property. Nowadays, it's being used by what's called the food truck stop, which they have a little sign over here. Here you go, the food truck stop. They got a number there you can call. So if you have a food truck, you can always come over here. You got this place over here that's called Nay and Jay's, which has been here for a while, and I actually need to fix the focus. I've clearly gone back into manual focus. So yeah, there's the food truck stop. There we go. Don't crash, standby news. We don't need you to crash. Interestingly, they put drive-through flags up for the Nay and Jay's over here. I don't know how exactly that's working. I guess right now they're closed, so not open right now, but I guess you can just pull right up, or you can go over, grab a bite to eat, and sit down on one of the benches. Nice little bit of reuse for the parking lot, although they really could use a couple extra food trucks in my opinion, a couple other options, but hey, I'm impressed with what is happening with Cheyenne for getting food trucks in here. Like, there's a lot of food trucks that stop by here. There's one that does French fries, like a whole bunch of different French fry stuff. There's a Mexican one out on the west end of town that usually is parked by West Edge Collective. There's a look at the Some Like It Hot Tanning Salon, by the way. There was a sign right there, but I guess it got torn up by some vehicles hitting it. It looks like they might be in the process of replacing it, which is good. Yeah, I do got photos of this. Actually, I should do this real quick. So there's Hollywood Video when it was open at this location. And there's Hollywood Video when it got taken over by Spirit Halloween one year. And I think Yeah, there's a photo of North Platte Physical Therapy when it was there. All very similar angles. And then I think I got one more photo left in my list to do. A camera photo, I need to go to auto, there we go. Are they gonna get stores into the blue retail building, says Ransacked. So yeah, they already got one of the spaces occupied by that gym I mentioned. They don't have signage up yet. I know it's a little bit weird. They actually did have signage up technically because they had the banners, but the banners all got knocked down, so you can't exactly easily tell, so you kind of have to just know it's there. I forget what the name of it is. There's there's at least a couple of articles that have mentioned what it is. It's not quite this, as far as I understand anyway, it's not quite the same thing as like Planet Fitness, and it is some kind of local place. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. They are wanting to get more places in there. Aside from the April Fool's joke, I guess there is that for the Blockbuster thing they did. They did a very good job on making it almost real. They did a good enough job that people actually believed Blockbuster was coming back. It was April Fool's Day. It's like you almost kind of should know, but I did a video of it, of course, it is on my channel. It's one of the most recent videos I've done. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, I read that. Why did the Taco John's in downtown Fort Collins close? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it moved to a new location or if it just straight up closed. I couldn't find out much info about that. I was able to figure out a date at least that it closed. Thank God for Coloradoan. I knew it closed between 2007 and 2012 thanks to Street View, but of course Street View didn't go through there in 2008, 2009 or any of those years, which is a bit of a surprise seeing how many other areas they did go through. But then I came across a Coloradoan article from a few years ago that kind of talked about how they were initially going to replace the Taco John's and the other couple of buildings on that half of the block. Of course, that part didn't come true right away, but they included the date that it closed, which was convenient. And that of course also confirmed the build date that I already was able to figure out from other sources. Cough, cough, assessor. Thank you, property assessor. Let's see. Yeah, stay safe, standby news. Yep, Hollywood Videos, definitely nostalgia. I mainly was on, so I am on Pershing Boulevard right now. It is mainly Pershing Boulevard that we're focusing on for the purpose of this stream. And one of the next streams when I finally do the other half Pershing. Let's see. Yeah, Hollywood Videos nostalgia. I think I might have gone there once, maybe twice. I didn't go Hollywood Video much. I went to Blockbuster more, as well as Showtime Video USA. Showtime Video USA was a local, completely local chain. It was like not even a chain, in fact. It was a locally owned store here in Cheyenne. And someone actually posted photos, a lot of photos on Facebook of it. Like some of the events, they had Halloween events where people would come in dressed as Halloween characters. That was over by the King Supers I've talked about before. It's now a Chase Bank, Cheyenne's first Chase Bank for that matter, that I know of anyway. If there was ever Chase Bank in Cheyenne before, it was before my time. I should speak about the housing over here real quick before I forget. So all the housing that we're walking by today, wait, did we pass it? Or is it up here? I think it's up here. I gotta show this truck on the garage door thing they did. So all the housing in this area that we're at now, it was built in 1941, 42, 44, 49, 51. That's on both sides of the street. And that's just dates that I grabbed from various properties. Like I said before, I don't check every single house. So there's probably other houses that were built between those dates or after those dates. But look at the pickup truck that these guys painted on this door thing here. It's not a garage door anymore, I don't think, but used to be, and you can see how they took advantage of that fact. And then we got the First Baptist Church, which we'll get to in a minute. Hey, Mall Fountain Productions, how are you doing? Oh, CSM Urbex here. New name, okay. Glad you can make it into the chat today. XXRE Fress, stop. I don't see anyone behind me, so. I don't know why I need to stop. I think I'm missing context, maybe. I'm walking pretty slow, I mean. But anyway. Golly. Oh man, we're almost to Old Cary Junior High, which is being reused, so it's not abandoned. We got Salem Road. I remember when I talked to Andy a lot more in the day, not so much these days, where we got our lives, right? He's a pretty busy dude, way busier than I am. And I can be pretty busy myself sometimes, but I remember joking around with him that that's Salem Road, because out where he is, he's got a city that's called Salem, Oregon. Andy's retail exploration is the one I'm talking about there. Let's see, I don't have photos of this, unfortunately. I should have grabbed photos of this, but I didn't. Oh well. So this is the Capital City Church. Previously, it was called the First Baptist Church. I do not have an original build date, although it was built before 1994. You can see that they just put a banner over the old sign. So you can probably, yeah, you could still see the original signage if you really wanted to. Oh, here we go. First Baptist Church, AD 1955. So that's when it was built, probably. Most of the housing in this area was 50s, so that would make sense, 1955. And then we got Rayer Avenue. A long time ago, there didn't used to be a stoplight here. I've heard stories of a couple or three different people getting killed trying to cross a street here, so they decided to just make this a stoplighted intersection. Got a nice street there instead of a strode. Of course, I like the narrow streets. They keep traffic nice and calm, good for pedestrians, bikes, and everything else in addition to cars. Surprisingly, I think the sensor actually picked me up on my bike the other day. It actually changed pretty quickly for me without even pushing a button, so that was convenient. I apologize if the string craps out here. This is usually where the string craps out. Fortunately for you guys, it will probably be more of a choppiness rather than having the quality actually drop. At least not as bad as it does on YouTube. So there is that. But this is the East Ridge complex now. It was Cary Junior High School that was built in 1953. There were loads of additions over the years, just like East High School. Some areas went through remodel, especially in the 1980s. It's been used by several schools temporarily. Dildine was the most recent school to be present on the building over here. While their school was remodeled, I guess Sunrise Elementary was here for a period because their roof was messed up after a nasty hailstorm. Meadowlark was even here until the new school was built out north of Story Boulevard. And of course, this is all after Cary Junior High moved, I think, for the most part. I think Meadowlark might have been here at the time that Cary was still here, but they did put a memorial thing over here as well. They're calling this the Connie Burnside Memorial, which is a nice little courtyard thing. Could have a little more grass in my opinion, but still decent aesthetics. In dedicated loving memory of Connie Burnside, 2005. And they got a bunch of benches and planters and stuff here. I think there is another little plaque thing over here that we'll take a look at. Yeah, here we go. So there's a tree here dedicated in memory of Joan Elaine Foy, class of 1998. So that's this tree here. Of course, there's other trees all around the whole area. So you can actually see signage there for the gymnasium and auditorium. Whoops. Are we zoomed out? Yeah. The book sale, the DKG annual used book sale was here one year. I actually went to that. I remember seeing a couple of students and teachers I knew that time. That was a fun time. All these schools that I mentioned and the book sale, they were all held in the building over here, mainly in these classes. There's a hallway right here in this part of the building that was actually blocked off, but I remember being able to look down the hallway, which was interesting. I don't think I've been in too much else of the school. I think I was in the main part one time because of a bathroom break that was necessary, but other than that, haven't really been here. There's a courtyard thing over here that they actually built a little park area on, and we'll take a look at that when we get a little closer. Yeah, the stream's probably going to be bugging out here, and I apologize for that. It's a bad spot for me to be connected. It'll get better once I get over to Concord. Like I said, I got the stream on my phone, so because I'm using the external app, I got a backup of the stream link. Got Logan Avenue right here. Kind of a weird intersection. There was talk of actually connecting Concord and Logan up a little bit better, demolishing this part of Cary, but never ended up happening. Give this person a chance to walk by. So we got all of this stuff over here. So yeah, you can see all of the equipment, mainly monkey bars and stuff like that. Pretty sure a friend of mine took a photo on top of those monkey bar things right there actually a very long time ago, where it was literally standing on top. It's kind of funny. They got bike lanes, of course, on Logan. Little detail, but a detail nonetheless. So right about now, the stream should quit lagging on you guys. I apologize for the lag. Like I said, if the stream's bad enough, I'll re-upload the stream so that way you don't have the lag in the replay. And if I do that, then I'll make this stream unlisted. I think we'll cover the Cheyenne Baptist Temple in the future live stream. Same thing with the Pershing Plaza. So yeah, this was the part of the building that all those schools were housed in. I remember when there was a Dildine signage over here. And I should show this so you can see the Cary Junior High School signage that used to be on the building over here. You can't see it from here, but you can see it from Logan Avenue. And now it's, well, actually further than Logan Avenue. And now they have the East Ridge facility signage on it, so a little bit of a change, but it is down that way where you can see that. Let's see, I think that's about it. Did I accidentally throw it into... Okay, I didn't. Oh, live status indicator, that's helpful. That helps a lot, wow. So my phone's at 25%. I didn't realize there was a live status indicator. That's freaking cool as hell. I think the one other thing I'll mention is that right in this part of the parking lot, there used to be a shaved ice place that would pop up every year. Quite a long time ago. It was the first one I went to. Unfortunately, that one has completely disappeared. Nowadays, you got YO Snowco, I believe it's called. There's another one that always pops up in front of the bicycle station every summer. I forget the name of it, but you may remember from a stream last year where they literally were taunting me to come up and say hi. Good old times. I'll have to do a video of it sometime. I have tried that one before and they do have good shaved ice. Snowco, YO Snowco as well. I've tried theirs when they were at the Blue Federal Credit Union. They seem to have decent flavors as well, so there's that. I have to go over all of the Pershing Plaza in the next stream, but there's quite a bit there to cover. quite a bit of history, including the Montgomery Ward, which seems like someone is remodeling part of it for more office space, which is good to see it getting reused again. So there is that. Also, the WYO insurance is now Hub Insurance. They changed their signage out sometime over the last year. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff to talk about here, but we'll do that in a future stream, I think. I'm going to see about calling it, I think. Is there any other chats I missed? I haven't shown my face today. Hi, it's my face. I can go into the wider one, I think. There we go, that's a little bit wider. The clouds just came over the sun, so kind of a good thing, I guess. Gives a nice little cool break. Long sleeve to avoid getting sunburn. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do the biking streams still. I'm getting there. I see two different possibilities for biking streams and one for walking streams, actually, which would make life a little more convenient, but yeah. I think that's about it. Is the chat froze up on me? Nope. Okay. Chat's not frozen. All right, so we'll probably be live again next week because I've heard that it's going to be in the 70s and 80s next week. We'll be doing a video around the start of next week as well. I got an accident to go to. That's all right. We're actually kind of ending up here, so it's okay. Yeah, new video around the start of next week, and then live stream probably as well. Hopefully soon we'll be able to start doing some biking streams in there too, where we go around and just do updates on places. And hopefully this application becomes more reliable. It's better than it was, I guess, since I was able to get it going, but still kind of a pain. But well, it worked. That's the important part, right? Anyway, I appreciate everyone who stopped in. One of the next streams we will be covering the other part of Pershing Boulevard, and we'll go from there. See you guys in the next stream. If the stream is laggy, I'll re-upload it. Anyway, peace out, peeps. Have a good day, everyone.